Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jambert. First two segments, we talk about Lee Corso retiring and the NBA play-in. This segment, we're kicking it over to the NFL. The NFL draft coming up. They're kicking it like the NFL kickers kick the ball. Yeah, okay, I was stupid. Fourth segment, we're talking about the Browns. Ended off with Nico Harrison, the GM for the Dallas Mavericks. Okay, NFL draft. Let's talk about it. NFL draft next week. Green Bay. It's gonna be a good one. A lot of good names in this draft. A lot of the teams already know who they're gonna take. But with injuries, with maybe players' draft stock falling, you never know who's gonna go where. So I want to talk about who do I think is gonna go where, who's gonna pick who. Let's talk about that briefly. So we already have the first three players guaranteed to get drafted. Most likely, we already know the first three. And those three, obviously, Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter. Cam Ward is already a Titan. I mean, he should already be in the practice facility wearing pads and with a jersey on. He already should. There's a clip of him yesterday. This was hilarious. Clip of him yesterday on Fortnite on Fortnite. And he's playing with, I forgot who, probably some friends or randoms, I don't know. But the randoms or friends asked him, who do you think the best running backs in the league are? And he goes, let me think about that. Tony Pollard and Tayshaun Spears. That's it, just those two. And if you know NFL, those are the two main running backs for the Tennessee Titans. So he's basically already admitting that, yeah, I'm gonna be a Titan, which is honestly a good pick. He's gonna fit well into that system. If they can, draft some O-line to help him as well, because you saw at Miami how good of a quarterback he is with a good O-line. Granted, every quarterback's gonna be good with an O-line that's really good, but you really saw he is so calm and collected in the pocket when he has a decent O-line surrounding him with no pressure. He just stands there. He literally just stands in the pocket, moves his hips a little bit, looks around, and just throws it. I mean, it's all he does, and it just works. So if the Titans could build, maybe make some trades, maybe, draft some good O-line for him, the Titans are going to be really good this year. They're going to be a very good team with a good running back core, a good young QB. It's going to be very interesting to see how they pair him up. What they do for him, if they try to build around him, which they should, we'll have to wait and see. Then we got the 2 and 3 spots. 2, obviously, is for the Cleveland Browns, who had the second worst record in the NFL. The 3rd is for the New York Giants. Who's going to go where? Sorry, I got a little itch in my nose. So like I said, the 2 and the 3 spot, Browns and Giants. But then you got guys Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter. Abdul Carter, the best DN in the draft out of Penn State. Travis Hunter, Heisman winner, two-way player for Colorado. And both teams need either one of them because they both fit their systems perfectly well, just really well. You got, let's say the Browns draft Abdul Carter, him and Myles Garrett. The Myles Garrett, is on one side of the D-line, Abdul Carter the other. And having that paired up, having a Hall of Fame D-end, by the way, the D-end reached the fastest D-end to ever reach 100 sacks. And, a young, these Penn State guards or these Penn State D-ends come out of freaking natures. I mean, they're always amazing. And you get this, the Penn State, I don't know if you know this, if you're listening or watching, but the Penn State rule with number 11. You wear number 11, you're going to be good. I mean, that's just how it is. Like, the people who wear number 11, you don't get to choose it. And it's, like, passed down through the program. And when you get someone, you get guys like Saquon Barkley, he wore 11. He passed it down, and it's eventually made its way to Abdul Carter. And now they've got this, like, new rookie in Penn State wearing 11 already, and he's a tank. He's another DN, and he's a freaking nature. Oh, my gosh. He's going to be a problem. But get back to, Abdul Carter. He's the best DN in the draft, and seeing him paired up with Myles Garrett would be scary for any O-lineman, any O-line in general. But then you got him, going to New York. Him and Kayvon Thibodeau in the DN, and, Sexy Dexy, Dexter Lawrence. But, I mean, that's a good D-line. 3 guys, you get a three-tech D-line. You got Dex at the good nose, and then you got the 2 DNs and Kayvon and Abdul Carter. I mean, that's going to be a good O-line, or good D-line, and that's going to be an even scarier D-line than the Browns would have if they had Myles Garrett and Abdul Carter together. Maybe. That's up for debate. But then you got Travis Hunter, who is arguably the best athlete in the draft this year. Not the best player, the best athlete. You win the Heisman, only the best player in college football wins the Heisman. And, two-way player, putting up these insane numbers, both sides of the ball. He had statistically better stats on defense, and he's entering the draft, I believe. I'm not sure. He keeps changing it up, but I just keep hearing cornerback. And so he's probably going to stay, as a cornerback. And, I mean, if he's going to play both sides of the ball, though, he did say that if a team limits him to one side of the ball, he's just not going to play. He's going to sit out. So a team that needs him and wants him will play on both sides. And the Giants, or the Browns and Giants, will fit that system perfectly. I mean, think about the Giants. Yeah, Malik Neighbors, one of the best rookie receivers last year, the best, actually, and one of the most promising stars in the NFL right now, paired up with the quarterback of their choosing. Not sure who it's going to be. But, you got Russell Wilson, obviously. They just signed him. And Jameis Winston. So maybe they'll get one in the draft. Maybe they'll trade up for another quarterback for a young guy. But, I mean, imagine Jameis Winston or Russell Wilson just throwing it down to either Malik Neighbors or Travis Hunter on offense. That's filthy. And then you got the Cleveland Browns, who if they take Travis Hunter, he'll have paired up with Jerry Jeudy, who's a phenomenal receiver from last year. They have either vet Joe Flacco, who's back for the Browns, great signing for the Browns, by the way. Deshaun Watson, maybe we'll have to see with that. Or Kenny Pickett, basically Teddy Bridgewater. He loves his 2 gloves. It's Kenny 2 gloves now. We got Kenny 2 gloves over there. But I mean, it's gonna be very interesting to see who takes who. But I do think that the Browns will take Travis Hunter, and then the Giants will end up taking Abdul Carter. I think the Browns' situation is a better fit for Travis Hunter. And plus, if they do really want Shedeur, trade up for a quarterback, they'll trade up. If Shedeur doesn't fall within the first 8 picks, I think he drops, maybe first 10. Because if you look at the draft order, you have Titans, Browns, Giants. None of them need a quarterback. None of them need a quarterback. Then you got the Patriots, who have Drake May, Trevor Lawrence for the Jaguars. But then you get the Raiders. The Raiders do need a quarterback, and so he could fall there, but the Raiders are very heavily going to be for, the running back for Boise State. I forgot, Ashton Jeanty. They're heavily favored for Ashton Jeanty because they've taken him out to dinners, they've been practicing with him, and they're very, very heavily favored for Jeanty right now. Then you got the Jets. The Jets could use a quarterback as well. Maybe he'll go there, but I mean, there's a lot of spots for, any young quarterback to go to, but I do think there's a lot of good quarterbacks in this draft. Obviously, Cam Ward is gone. Shedeur. I do like Kyle McCord. He's going to be a dog, I feel like. You got a lot of quarterbacks in this draft. You got 11 quarterbacks in this draft who are good enough to play anywhere, and I do believe the Browns, if they do like one that, hasn't been taken off the board yet, they will eventually go and make a play for one of them. Trade up. Maybe if some of them fall, they'll pick them up in the later second rounds or whatever their draft pick is. So, they can build around, hopefully Travis Hunter, get a young quarterback as well. Have 4 quarterbacks in the roster. The Browns do that a lot. I've noticed that last year. They had 4 quarterbacks in the roster last year. So we'll have to wait and see what they do with that. But I do think the Browns will end up taking Travis Hunter, and Abdul Carter will then go to New York. So we'll have to wait and see in a week what happens with that. But that's my opinion. That's what I think will happen. But then again, this is my opinion. We'll have to wait and see what happens, and we'll go from there, I guess. But I do think that would definitely both fit the systems best. If Abdul Carter does get drafted first with Myles Garrett, like, with the pairing up him with the Browns and Myles Garrett, that'd be a filthy combo and a very, very filthy combo to have. That D-line, the defense in Cleveland's really good. Their offense didn't win them games, or their defense didn't lose them games either. It's because their offense just couldn't, prevail. They couldn't, make plays when they needed them to, unfortunately. But that defense wasn't the problem. Their defense was playing good all year round. It's just a matter of their offense. But that's going to be a really good addition to their defense. And even if they, get Travis Hunter, put him at cornerback, they already got Denzel Ward as well. So that'd be a really good matchup with him and Denzel Ward on both sides. Let's say they're playing man or zone coverage, it doesn't matter. They're both fast. They're both pretty young still. Or obviously Travis is young, but Denzel Ward is a pretty young guy still. And he's playing very good. So either way, it'll work out for both teams. But I do think the Browns take Travis Hunter. And then the Giants take Abdul. And then everybody else is fair game after that. We'll see in a week what teams choose, who goes where. The draft is amazing. Seeing all these young stars get drafted, brought into a new league, new light, it's amazing. So in a week's time, we'll wait and see where they all go. That's all I got for this segment. Next segment, we're going to the Browns. We're staying with the Cleveland Browns, see what they do there. We already basically gave my opinions on that, but we'll talk about just the Browns. And then after that, we're going to Nico Harrison, the GM for the Dallas Mavericks. We'll get right back to all that after the break.